Hi, Vinyl community friends. Wes here, back with some more thread responses. We're going to start off with Pudsi's 200 subscriber thread, another newer member of the vinyl community. I just discovered through this thread actually, so I'm excited to get to know you and learn some more about some stuff that you're into. I understand you're into some more heavy metal and stuff, and I see you have an Earth shirt on there. Cool, it's just cool. I like Earth. I'm not so much into the heavy metal, but I like some of it, and Earth is one of the bands I really like, so that's cool. So your first question is, what record would you like that you wouldn't buy? Basically too expensive. So there's several on my list right now that are just I want, but they're just too expensive. The first ones are the first two Linkin Park albums, Hybrid Theory and Meteora. I'd really love to have both of those on vinyl, and they're $80 or more these days to buy, and I'm just not willing to pay that. My threshold is kind of around $30 for anything, period, unless it's like a box set or something. So it's just, they're way out of my price range. I'd love to have them. Maybe I'll find them someday. You know, the band has kind of fallen out of popularity, so maybe the prices will come down on them, but I don't know. But I'd love to have those two, and also another one that's over $30 that's sort of recent is the soundtrack to Tron by Daft Punk. I'd really love to have that on vinyl. It's a great soundtrack, and I'd love to have that on vinyl, but I just have to deal with having a CD for now because it's $50 or more also. So, question number 2, 7 inches, yes or no? No is my answer. I have some. This is all I have. I don't listen to them. I have some just for collectors reasons, basically, just to have, but I don't ever play them hardly, and not really interested in them. I don't seek them out, or I normally don't even look at them in the stores. Question number 3, other obsessions besides music or vinyl. Probably my main other obsession is modifying and racing cars. I think I'll go ahead and insert a clip real quick of me racing my car. Okay, so that was me racing my car, hopefully, or something to that effect. That's my main other obsession, which hoping to get back into this year. I actually blew up the motor on it a couple years ago now, and I just haven't had the time or the place to fix it. But now I'm in a house with a garage, and I have the place and I have the money, so it's going to happen this year. I'm excited to get back to doing some more racing. Some other obsessions I have or have had in the past are running, mountain biking. I'm pretty obsessed with building custom computers. A friend of mine has an IT consulting business, and we build computers for like photo studios and stuff like that, doctors' offices where they either need a lot of storage or really fast, secure storage for medical files, or photo studios need like a really powerful machine that can, this time is money when you're editing photos, and the faster you can do batch editing on stuff, it's makes a lot of sense for them to have really smoking fast machines. So that's an instance where you don't buy something off the shelf. You know, you go to a custom computer sort of build and build some really sweet machines. So that's a fun thing to sort of research the different computer hardware and build things and do overclocking and liquid cooling and all kinds of stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of like hot rodding for computers, so I really love that. Okay, question number 4 was, have you bought any records based on the cover alone? This is something I do a couple times a year, actually. I'll just walk into a record store and I'll be like, there's to be nothing in particular I'm looking for. I'm just like, I'm just gonna buy something based on how I feel about it, how the initial impression of the album cover is. And here's an instance of something, the last one I bought, which was this Black Mountain in the Future. A little bit of a proggy, sort of rocky sort of band. It was okay. I wasn't totally blown away there on Jaguar, but I really love this album cover art. It's really cool art, and I bought it based on the cover art alone. And so that was Pudsi's thread. Congratulations on your 200 subscribers, and I hope you get a lot more. And next up we have Blake, Mr. WortDB 71, is it? Mr. Blake Sleeve. And he asked about music books, and this is something I'm not real knowledgeable about because I haven't read that many music books. I do a lot more like fiction type reading, so I don't really do much music reading that much, other than just like, you know, reading stuff online about album reviews and stuff. But as far as books, I have a few here that I picked out. The first is this book called Record Store Days. It's a really nice little coffee table book about sort of the rise and fall of the independent record store, and it's just a really cool, I like how it's laid out. It's really nicely laid out, and it's just a fun book to pick up and read a little bit here and there, and it's very reasonably priced also. So we got that. Another one that's kind of a reference book is 1,000 Recordings to Hear Before You Die. This is something that I picked up on a discount shelf, and I think it was $10, and it has a lot of albums. So sometimes I'll just, if I'm listening to something, I'll look and see if it's in here and sort of read about it, or if there's an artist I'm interested in, I'll read about him in there. So it's a cool little sort of reference book to have. Next up is this 100 best-selling albums of the 70s. It sort of takes a page for each album and sort of tells how the sales were for that album, and gives a track listing, and it talks about the album a little bit and who performed on it, all that stuff. So that's another cool little coffee table kind of book where you can just pick up and read, you know, 1 page or 10 pages or 20 pages, whatever you want to do. I like that kind of stuff. And this one's along the same lines. This is A Brief History of Album Covers. This one's another one where it just shows the cover and then talks about the album next to it. And, you know, it sort of talks more about the covers themselves, and it explains who the artist was and what the meaning of it is and everything. So that's nice. So that's a brief history of album covers. And my last suggestion, which is something I think everyone should have, it's the Gold Mine's Catalog of American Records. Well, everyone, if you're in America, I should say, should have this. If you're not in America, this is not going to be of much use to you. It's just nice to have a catalog, paper catalog of all the releases, and as has been said before, the prices, you can sort of use the prices as a guide to whether something is rare or not, but it's mainly just to have a printed catalog of all the releases, the different pressings and stuff, and repressings, and all that. So it's really handy to have this, and it's another one I think you can get on Amazon for around $15 or $20. So it's reasonably priced, and it's very handy to have this. And this is the seventh edition that was just released a little over a year ago. So it's pretty current. Well, it only goes up to 1990, but it's pretty current as far as fixing problems and sort of keeping up with what's out there. So those are my suggestions, Blake. I'm sorry I don't have more as far as biographies and autobiographies and stuff, but I just haven't read very many of those. But thanks again for the threads, and we'll see you all soon. Cheers.